So, you got you a mini bike, huh? Nothing wrong with that. Mini bikes are cool. They're a lot of fun. Relatively cheap entertainment. The thing is if you want to get a little more power out of it, I'm going to show you how to do that. But I'm not going to show you how to go full retard on it. All right. If you want a reliable mini bike that will go a little faster than 20 miles an hour, maybe 30 to 33 miles an hour, and it's going to start on the first pole and continue to be reliable, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how. So first off, let me clarify full retard. When I'm talking about full retard, a lot of people will get a mini bike and they'll start browsing the web, and before you know it, they're finding all these mods they can do, and motor swaps and torque converter installations and governor removal, and before you know it, you're investing a lot of money and time into a cheap mini bike, okay? And granted, if you do it right and you don't screw up and you get enough support and help, you might be able to get a mini bike that's going to go 40, even 50 miles an hour. But do you really need to go that fast? No. Most of these mini bikes are stock about 20 miles an hour, but with a few simple mods, you can make your mini bike go about 30 to 33 miles an hour without any major repairs or tear downs or motor swaps or any of that. Now, if you're into racing mini bikes and you want to go super, super fast, then this video is not for you. But if you just want to modify your mini bike to make it a little bit faster, a little bit better, and keep it reliable, which is the most important part, keep it reliable. Make sure it's going to start on the first pole every time. You know, you go doing these major modifications and you rip the governor out of the motor and you got to upgrade your valve springs, and it's not going to be as reliable anymore. It's going to be harder to start. There's a lot of issues, and that's only, you know, even if you do it right, you're still going to have issues. So let me show you the easy route to get a little bit more power out of your mini bike and keep it reliable. So stay tuned. Okay, these mini bikes here are pretty simple to assemble. When you get it, it's going to come in a box. Sometimes you get them pre-assembled, but you basically are going to put the forks and the front wheel on. You're going to put the fenders on and put the handlebars on and plug in a few connectors, and easy peasy. I highly recommend that you read the owner's manual, read the assembly instructions, because this particular mini bike, the rear chain tension was way too tight and ended up burning up my jack shaft bearings, which I showed on a previous video. So definitely read the entire manual. Make sure you got all your ducks in a row. Make sure everything's good and tight. And the first thing really what you need to do is go ahead and start it up and run it for a while and let it warm up and take it for a nice little ride, a good 10 or 15 minute ride, and then immediately change the oil. The reason I say that is I probably had about 30 or so miles on this mini bike, and I was reading online about the oil should be changed pretty quickly because it gets really dirty really fast. And I think that's because it's a break-in oil. I mean, I know you put your own oil in, but there's still a lot of crap inside the motor. And on another previous video I did, I showed you how nasty the oil looked, and it was kind of metallic. So definitely want to do that. So when you get it all together, make sure everything's good and tight. Run it for a little while and change your oil. Now, I'm going to move on to showing you two small modifications that'll make your mini bike go a little bit faster and still be reliable. Okay, I am going to show you these modifications on my mini bike. The exhaust is not stock. I made this out of a 2016 Kenworth T680 passenger side mirror bracket, stainless steel. I cut the flange off my original muffler and welded it on this pipe. But now, since the big muffler's not here, I can actually show you what's going on inside here. And what I do want to show you is the throttle. This will be your first modification. Now, if you look, carefully look, you're going to see right here is a set screw. Now, this set screw goes up against this metal tab, and it limits the throttle. So this screw is actually welded in, so you cannot just unscrew it. So you got two options. You can either cut the screw right off, or this little metal tab, you can go ahead and bend it over and bend it down out of the way. This will give you a full throttle whenever you open the throttle up, because normally it stops right about there, and it gives you about that much more. So that is the first mod that you want to do. That will give you, in my experience with the 4 mini bikes we assembled, about 5 miles per hour. So you're going to increase from around 20 to 25. Now let's move on to the next one. I will tell you that the header I put on this, it's handmade. You can buy one. I did not see an increase in speed with the exhaust or this air intake mod. If you look right here, I got 3 holes drilled. Some people drill more holes. Some people drill lots and lots of holes. I did not notice much as far as, you know, power, but I will say the exhaust, it didn't give me a top speed change, but what it did do is it accelerates a little bit faster. So drilling the holes in the air box is another option to give you a little more air intake. Some people hog them out pretty good. Some people put aftermarket air filters on, but I don't like them because they stick out. And if you lay your bike over, it's going to fall off. Or if you don't get it on good and tight, it's going to break off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the next mod would be the governor zip tie mod. So what I'm going to do is, as you've been watching, I'm removing the air box from, I just dropped that screw. You think I'll find it? Is that going to be like the 10 millimeter in the engine compartment fiasco? You know it. You know it. All right, we got the screws out. Let me look here. There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do now is show you how to do the governor zip tie mod. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can remove the fuel tank, or you can simply get it out of the way. So there's 2 nuts. I got that one off. On the front of the fuel tank, there's 2 nuts. And then on the back, there is 1 bolt, which I already have loose. But if you notice, it won't come out. What you have to do is open the throttle. So open the throttle, and then the screw will come out for you. Gives you just enough room to get it out of there. So let me see if I can do this one-handed, since I am holding. There we go. Perfect. So let me show you the zip tie mod. We got to pull this tank off. We don't have to, there is a line hook to it, so you can't go ripping it, you know, off, because you're going to have gasoline everywhere and make a mess. So it is kind of a pain to get off, but it will come out of there. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I got it popped and out of the way. There's the fuel line right there. I didn't remove it. Now let's take a look at this governor. Let's see if I can get this tank right about there. As you see, I didn't have to remove it completely. And we got some bright sun coming in over here. Okay, so this is your governor arm. If you look online, you'll see that people tear the motor apart and they actually cut this shaft off and remove the entire governor. But when you do that, you're going to run into a few problems. Now, if you look carefully, if I can get this thing focused, you see this spring right here? If you notice, I have a zippy tie going through it. What I did is I cut the head off of 1 zippy tie and then ran another zippy tie through the spring, and then took the head, and I'll show you how to set it. What I did is I opened the throttle full blast right there, as you can see, and then I put the zippy tie in and tighten it so there's just a tad of play. I mean, just a little bit. I don't think I can hold the throttle open and show you at the same time, but there's, well, it's actually closing. I'm holding it with my forehead. But yeah, with the throttle fully open, that zippy tie should be just not tight, but just in there, and maybe a millimeter. I got maybe a millimeter on that zippy tie of play. So that's your governor mod. What this will do is this will give you the most increase on top speed on your mini bike, because this governor would normally pull that throttle back. With the zippy tie, you are stopping it from pulling it back. So that's how you do the zip tie mod. I haven't had any issues with it. This mod alone will give you your most increase. This mini bike now goes about 30 miles an hour. And as I said before, if you go over 30 miles an hour, you start pushing 33, 34, your valves are going to start floating. You're going to need a bigger valve springs. You also run the risk of the internal governor exploding inside the engine. So those are the mods I wanted to share with you on the mini bike, on basically getting the best speed and reliability out of one of these mini bikes without throwing a lot of money into it and motor swaps and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed. See you next time.